You know, having pink and purple and green, whatever color this hair is, has been really fun. But if you don't know, if you have hair this color, you can't wash it too much if you want the colors to last. And not washing your hair in the Florida summertime when you also go to the gym is like a recipe for like really gross hair. So like it might look cute. What's up guys, it's V Renee. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today we're not here to talk about my hair actually. If you didn't know, I wrote the book last year. It came out last year. I did not write it last year. I wrote a couple books last year. Anyway, I published my first novel, Civil Blood, book 1 of the Thistlewolf trilogy, in October of last year. So that means that this time, my book has been in the world for like 8 months. That's a long time. In case you can't do math good like me, that means I've been a debut author for almost a year now. I signed my publishing contract in May of last year, and I've seen some shit. I learned some stuff, so let's talk about it. Here are the top 10 things I learned in my first year, or almost, as a debut author. Number 1, you are so not prepared for your friends, parents, exes, former teachers, grandparents to read your sexy stuff. Listen guys, I write young adult paranormal romance, or that is the book that I have out at this time. That is the genre and category, young adult paranormal romance. And I personally can't write sex scenes. They are cringy to me to write, which means my debut is about as sexy, or like, it's about as tame as Twilight, Beautiful Creatures, like same kind of level of steamy. But what I do like to write is sexual tension, which is somehow worse sometimes when your best friend's mom is telling her how chapter 12 got her so hot and bothered. Your friends think your male main character is so hot and they like want to date him. It's just like, that's my child, leave him alone. Every time someone wants to read my book, I'm like, thank you so much. And I'm like, oh God, you're gonna, ew. Like I can think of like specific parts that I don't ever want to know that they read. I just hope they somehow, like the pages got stuck together. Ew, also, Number 2, nobody, and I mean nobody, cares about your book as much as you do. I was blessed beyond measure to have a badass team of people on my street team for Civil Blood who were promoting that book for months before it came out. I had all my friends and family geeking out over the book, reviewing it on Amazon, reviewing it on Goodreads, buying it, sharing it with their friends, telling me how much they loved it. And then a week went by. The book was out for a week and everybody forgot it existed. And I was shook. Like after the initial, oh my God, someone I know published a book, wore off, there was crickets. And I was like, how are you not freaking the fuck out? I wrote a book. Yeah, I wrote it 2 months ago. Yeah, it came out 2 months ago, but how are you not freaking out? And it's like, people don't usually freak out for a book for that long. And if you write in a really specific genre and category like young adult paranormal romance, there's a pretty good chance that most of your friends and family don't read that genre. They bought the book to be supportive. They may have read it to be supportive, but like, they aren't excited about it because they don't like cults and witches and demonic possession and vampires and religious iconography. And like, fair, it's an acquired taste. Number 3, no matter how good of an editor you have, how many rounds of editing you do, how thorough your publishing house is, how thorough you are going through your proofs, you will notice things in your debut that will haunt you for the rest of your life, and you'll only notice them after publication. I'll give you a gem from Civil Blood that I will take to my grave. In the Rumble scene in Civil Blood, which is one of my favorite scenes, and it makes me full body cringe, which is why I just read it in voiceover instead of showing you my face, because I literally can't and I just, it's a perfect example of spoon feeding the reader because you think they're stupid, and I hate it. Number 4, good reviews feel like snorting cocaine. Bad reviews feel like getting punched in the balls. If you crave validation like air, you're probably a writer. Most creative types need validation. We're like Tinkerbell, we need applause to live, like that whole thing. That being said, you know, I've gotten some great reviews on Civil Blood. Anytime someone writes on Goodreads, just gives it 4 stars, or they just say, I like this book, I could literally astral project off of the high that gives me. Like, it is so exciting to hear someone say, I read your book in one day, I loved it so much. That being said, taste is subjective, opinions are subjective. And if you put anything creative out into the world, there is a 1,000,000% chance that someone is not going to like it. And there's probably like a 5,000,000% chance that they're going to tell people they don't like it. We are way more likely to talk about something in a negative way than we are in a positive way. Have you been on Yelp ever? It's gonna happen. And it could be a number of things. It could be an ex-boyfriend who's jealous of your success. Hi, yes, I know that you are watching this because you're stalking me. How you doing? It could be a troll. It could be someone who just, and I know this sounds crazy, genuinely didn't like your book. And even though opinions are subjective, and even though you know trolls are gonna troll, it doesn't make it hurt any less when a piece of your soul is criticized by a stranger. It still hurts. So don't read the reviews. And number 5, if one person likes your book, you will feel worthy of continuing to write. I, again, have had the luxury and the blessing of having a great team, a street team of advanced reviewers, of people who supported me wholeheartedly before Civil Blood came out. But I'm gonna shout out one in particular because she's a little bit different. Her name is Megan. Megan and I went to high school together, and we were friendly, but we weren't friends. Like, this is not someone that I like hang out with on the regular. She's just somebody that I know from school. And when Civil Blood was coming out, she offered to do an advanced review for me so that I could use it for promo and put it up on my website and everything. And I just expected, you know, to get like a, hey, I read your book, here's what I thought of it. And instead, I got a Facebook message telling me she devoured my book in 3 hours, that she couldn't wait to read more, that it got her out of a writing slump, and just like the amount of praise that Megan showered down on me after she read Civil Blood was like the greatest thing you could ever feel as an author, ever. She was one of the first people who got to read Accidental Evils, and she gave me detailed feedback on that as well. She is my cheerleader. She's constantly hyping me up and supporting me. She is the person that I trust with in-depth secret information about Thistlewolf as I'm trying to work through Something Wicked, the final book in the trilogy. Anytime I have a question on something, I go to her because she understands what I'm trying to do. She has a love for the character. She has a love for the story and the world. And she is the reason that when it's hard, when Accidental Evils was so hard, when Something Wicked has been so hard for me to write, she is why I don't give up. Like, sometimes she is the one that I write Thistlewolf for because I owe it to her to finish that story because she loves it. And if you find one person, they always say, like, just find the one person, find that one person you write for. It's true. I could not leave Thistlewolf unfinished, even if I got so fed up with it that I just wanted to throw it all away. I couldn't do that to Megan. She needs to know how it ends. She deserves that. And people like her who love it deserve that. And people are gonna love your book. And if you have more of that story to tell, all it takes is that one person to tell you they need to know how it ends for you to want to keep going. And that's all I have for you today. My debut was a whirlwind of excitement and fuckery and anxiety and beauty, and I wouldn't change a thing except for the things that I wish I could change. I will see you guys next Wednesday with another video that you guys have been requesting. Bye.